What is up, boys and girls? We are live. If we're healthy, we're going. I'm just getting into it. If we're healthy, we're going to the Super Bowl. Like we are.
That's not gonna be a cheap Super Bowl.
No, and I just don't. We did that without Ayuk last night against a weak defense. Now I get the Giants. It showed again. The Giants missing all of their offensive line is just killing that team. They have some talent, but our front, basically was doing what the Cowboys did to them. They were just in Jones's face all night because they got a patchwork front. But I really like how Brock looked again. I like how the team went overall. So I'm pretty happy with our results last night.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on Brock. Some of his first 5 throws should have been interceptions. His job is not to force like that. So they weren't interceptions, so it's moot point. But he was throwing off his back foot a lot. They were blitzing a lot, and he turned blitzes into points. So really good stats against the blitz. Not overly hyped on our O-line. I think we're okay. I think our talent is so deep that it'll work. And our defense, it's weird. We're not even like dominating how we used to, but we're just not letting people move the ball.
Yeah, I said it. I mean, if you listen to me at the beginning of the season, I said my only worry is our offensive line. Like we know it's our weakness. It's not like, it's definitely not our strength, but again, we saw CMC is so good. Mitchell looked good. Our, Bell, Jennings.
Do you think we trade? We're working out 4 different DBs right now. DBs are very hard to come up by. Yep. Do you think like week 5 or 6, a team that's 1-5, 2-4 dishes us for picks and gives us a secondary or an O-line? I know these are not common trades, but
I just don't know we have enough draft capital to really go after somebody big, and we're like on the cap, right? Yeah. Like that's
big. I don't even think it's big. I think we just need slightly above average.
Yeah, I mean, right, we lost McGlinchey, we didn't pay him, which I get, right? I don't think McGlinchey was worth the money he got paid.
Oh my God, no. He was the fan base was talking bad about him all year, and then was sad when we lost him. It's like, well, which is it?
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked him at a normal contract, but not. I think he got like 5 for like 70 or something. Like he got like a big boy contract. Yeah, so I'm okay with that, man. That Paris Campbell under made me sweat yesterday. Like they did what I said they do, right? He gets like 2 yards a route. I didn't even get that updated. We're up. I had a really nice day yesterday. We were up units. So we missed our play. I gave I share the play with everybody. We hit 4 out of 5 at BetOpenly, and we lost on the hook on Jawan. We had over 31.5, and he got 31. But we had a nice day overall.
Everyone wants attention. Yeah, and honestly, these are not excuses, guys. I've had 8 out of 10 red days. Arguably, definitely my worst month since DD started 2 years ago. And I just keep losing bets that I think I should have won. I gave out CMC under 115 total yards. Why is dude still in picking up those last 5 yards?
And
3 scores.
And everybody had him, him on under 17.5 carries, and he landed at 18 because of that too. So it was just weird.
I was really wondering why he was in. We were up 2. I get why he was in when we were only up 8. That's 1 score. You need first downs. Then we went up high 2s. It's like, I don't know. Once we scored 30, he was still in. I didn't get it. And then again, being a crybaby, I gave out New York Giants +7 first half. I rewatched the game this morning. I think we covered that 7 out of 10 times. The Giants, not the Niners.
The way we played in the first half, I think the Giants
do. And then last but not least, I liked the over just on the drop of 3 points. It opened up at 45.5, closed at 42.5. And the Niners had 3 field goals. They were in the red zone 5 times and had 3 field goals. We're a 60% touchdown scoring team. So a lot of ways to win that, but it is what it is. And That's gambling, man. That's why when people, God, I saw a post the other day, and I don't even quote these people because I don't want to bring negative attention. Like, people are entitled to their opinions. A guy said, if you're following a capper that doesn't win you or lose you 10 units a day, they don't know what they're doing. And literally, that's the opposite. Like their understanding of units is so piss poor. Like, you could take my 5 plays and Trevor's 5 plays and just add a 0 to them if you want. Right. It doesn't make us better or worse cappers. It actually makes us worse cappers from a bankroll management perspective. But I feel bad for kids these days. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't have a lot of confidence. So I bet what I could afford to lose, and more than I could afford to lose when I was a kid. I think now these kids, the way algorithms work, they see people that are on a 15-0 hot streak, because anyone's going to, when you have 100,000 gamblers, a couple of them are going to go 15-0, and then they jump on after that. Then they overbet with confidence, and then what goes up must come down. Like, if anything, you guys should search for cappers that are 0-15 but know what the fuck they're talking about, and that's who you should jump on. But that's life, man. That's where we're at. That's social media, and it's powerful. It's getting me 1,100 signups a month right now for BetOpenly.
Yeah, I mean, I watched stuff like that. I'll put 0.1 unit on, and I'll go watch people put $100, $200, $300 on a bet that I'm saying put $10 on.
Yeah, and you're like, bro, your unit's not $1,000. What, 2,000, 3,000? What are you doing?
Yeah, like I know their unit isn't $1,000, right? Like, I know it's not. So
$100,000 bankroll's a lot.
Yeah, like, that's, I just don't understand it. So, well, we actually found some value in baseball today. I didn't think there was going to be much, but we got a Colorado early game today. And James Tallion's pitching for the Cubs today. I get they're playing for it, but he had this really good outing against Arizona 2 starts ago. And it was weird. And his last start was against Colorado, and he got smoked. And they're back again, and it's just lefties crush him. So the thing is he's terrible against lefties. He's really good against righties. Charlie Blackmon to hit a home run today is egregiously mispriced. I get
700's high.
Yeah, like it's just too high. Like, I get he's at the end of his career. He's not, the Charlie Blackmon hitting 40 bombs anymore. But when they're playing Colorado and you're going to give me in the 70s at Wrigley with the wind blowing out and some humidity, at plus 700, there's just too much value to pass up for a lefty today, especially because Talion gives up a 219 ISO and a 362 X WOBA. Like, that's too much to lefties to pass up.
I like it. My best BetOpenly bet, Wisconsin money line right now, first half is only minus 163. It's pretty high for me to give out a minus 163. Trev and I live in the 120 ranges, plus and minus. I just saw an imbalance of run game versus run defense here. And the craziest part about this imbalance is that's what you want to see in the first half when people are feeling each other out. You want one team to be able to establish the run, open up the pass, et cetera, et cetera. So I got asked some good questions in DD, like, hey, Gino, why do you like Wisco? They're not a first half team. And the joke I said, and I hope this resonates with just one of you listening, you kind of want to go against common sense logic. That's where you find value. If Wisconsin was a first half team against Purdue was a bad first half team, this would probably be minus 200. That's where the value goes away. So you almost need to be against the grain. So hope that's helpful.
Yeah, so this ties in with one of my prop bets today. One of my favorites on the board tonight is Braelon Allen of Wisconsin, over 74.5 rushing yards. This is simple. The Badgers have one of the best O-lines in NCAA. Purdue just gave up 271 to Syracuse rushing. Fucking Syracuse. The one game that's thrown off their stats is Washington blowing them out of the water, right? Like, Washington scored 1 billion points. It couldn't slow them down. Like, Wisconsin had to try to throw, which they can't do. Now, if you take out, like, even with that Washington game where Braelon only had 7 carries, he's averaged between last season and this season, the last 10 games, 18.4 carries a game. You add Ches in, they're going to probably run for 300 plus yards tonight on this team. I think this is a great spot for Wisconsin, and I really, really like his over rushing yards.
Throw in baseball, 1 or 2 more plays before the playoffs. I'm actually really ready to stop betting baseball, but it's just value there every day, and it sucks because I'm getting burned on it. OddsJam EV positive play of the day with BetOpenly. Pitt Cincy first 5, over 5.5, plus 125. Very rare you see such a high plus on a first 5. So that's where the 5.5% EV came from. Pitt Cincy first 5, over 5.5, plus 125.
And then tonight, our West Coast game. Sorry, this is against your Aztecs, but Boise's got Ashton, Jeanty, over 67 rush yards. This is really simple bet for me. So the Aztecs have a couple great corners. What they can't do is stop the run. They are literally last in Division I football at defensive rushing success rate, which means they can't stop the ball. They're literally the worst defensive rush rate team against in Division I. And then you add in for Boise with their new offensive coordinator. They're trying to keep Green in the pocket. This is just a game they're going to take advantage, right? Green's already had 4 INTs. Jeanty is a good back. And when you're just coaches see this, right? They're going to match up their strength against the Aztecs' weakness. Don't go throw at their corners. Give Jeanty the ball. I think this closes, even with the game coming later. I think we get into the 70s when this closes later today.
I like it, brother. Diving into our lightning round for WeBet. Trev and I are going to give you our 5 plays in the next minute or so with a way less explanation than we gave in the full show.
Charlie Blackmon of the Rockies to hit a home run. Talion gives up lots of home runs. They're in Chicago. This is just mispriced. It shouldn't be plus 700 today versus Talion. A guy's hit. This should be like plus 500. This is just simple math.
It's one of your bigger moonshots you've given out in terms of plus money. One of my bigger money lines I've given out on the reverse way, minus 163, Wisco first half. We had some good questions asked about why I like a spread so high. Wisco's not a first half team. That's why I like it. I'm getting it cheap. Great run, great O-line, great run game versus a not so great run defense. This is how you establish the run in a game, and they're up at halftime.
Gino just explained why we're on Braelon Allen tonight. Over 74.5 rush yards. He averages over 18 carries a game against just a team that can't stop the run. It's just a simple bet.
Love it, brother. OddsJam EV positive BetOpenly play of the day. First 5, over 5.5. Pitt Cincy plus 125. You do not see plus 125 often. That's why it's EV positive 5.5%. Don't ever bet it though. Mathematically, it shows it's going to lose, but at plus 125, you have EV positive.
And then our BetOpenly DFS play of the day, Ashton Jeanty of Boise State, over 67 rush yards. Sorry, G, your Aztecs have the worst run defense in Division I football. They have
you said weird defense like recently.
Yeah, their secondary studs. Like your D-backs are really good, and Brady's done a good job. They just don't have the big guys up front.
We used to have a run D and a run game. We used to be a good competitive squad.
It's they're gonna have a little rougher time this year, but they're one of those programs, when they lose a bunch of their seniors, they got to rebuild. But yeah, this is just, I think, a spot Boise takes advantage. They don't try to attack those DBs and they go after that run line.
And how about them Niners?
Love it. That's a great way to start 3-0. Just remember this, folks. There was people out on Twitter saying the Niners line should be 6.5 this season, and they wouldn't take any of our action when we literally begged them to.
We'll make it work, my dude. We'll make it work. I'm excited. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited for where the Niners are headed, and I'm surprised we're not getting it. Ayuk sitting out's good. He's not that hurt, but it's why rush him back. Shanny basically said, we need to beat this team without Ayuk, and they did. That's what you want to see from your team early.
Yep. And there's if you want to see some cool stuff too, go check out them talking about how they work on YAC, how they work on yards after catch. Check out Kittle's interview after the game, and check out things Shanny does. Him and Mike McDaniel are doing it. And guess who are the 2 teams in the league that are leading in YAC? The Dolphins and the 49ers. I think all the teams are going to start following it.
You know what's wild to me, if I really had to break it down? like just watching us play, watching everyone, people critiquing every piece of it, just how damn hard Debo is to take down.
Oh,
like I don't think a DB one-on-one could tackle him in the open field. Like it's insane. He runs through tackles almost like a fullback, not even a running back. He's better than a running back.
Yeah, it's Kittle talks about that because he's doing the same thing, right? If you got forbid you have a DB on him, but if you have a smaller linebacker on Kittle, he runs him over, right? Like it's the same way. Like if you watch, most of our team is able to do that. And it's something like he broke it down last night, how they work on it weekly and they train for it.
Yeah, shout out to Jeanty for his second half adjustment. We did it again. We had even though we were up, we had an first half, and then he's clearly become a better coach in the second half, which was a lot of criticism for him. He used to take early leads and blow them. Now he's running away with wins.
And shout out to our D for getting that INT, Danny, at the end of the game because we bet his over INT prop.
We needed it. Later, brother. Have a good weekend.
You too.